Jesse Draper, the Valley Girl. Let's talk business. I'm like the Valley Girl.
Flipboard is a digital social magazine that aggregates web links from your social circle and displays the content in magazine form on an iPad. Evan Dahl is a co-founder of Flipboard. Well, here we are with Evan of Flipboard. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I love Flipboard, and I know so many of our viewers use Flipboard. I mean, I was just telling you before, I daily am emailed, Flipboard articles, and it's just, you've really mastered this sort of art of curation. So just, can you give us a brief overview for those people who don't use it? What is Flipboard?
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea behind Flipboard is that it takes all the things you care about, the blogs, the magazines, websites, people, and lets you sort of see them all together in one place. So much of what's happening on social networks is, there's just so much of it, and it's happening so fast. You need something to kind of slow it down. And you need to be able to, it's like you're sitting by this river, and this river is roaring by, and you just kind of want to dip your cup in and have a little bit of water, and not be
I love the river
totally
analogy.
Drenched, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have any more time to read all these things,
right,
and to read all these recommendations and likes.
And more
things
are coming out just by the minute. Everyone's becoming a blogger. Everyone's becoming a.
I mean, it's a wonderful thing about products like Twitter and Facebook is that you don't have to go and set up a website for yourself anymore. You just create an account, you type whatever you're thinking, and it's out there. But that means for everyone who's reading it, it's getting much more difficult to make sense of it all. So in Flipboard, we try to bring relevancy to it. So we look at who you care about, who you tend to read, who you tend to like or retweet, and we try to make sure that those things come to the forefront. You can see those most important highlights. You can see the photo of your kid that your spouse posted on a social network, or you can see a story from the blogger who you really respect and like, and not have to sift through tons and tons of stuff to find that.
So how did you, decide to start this? I know you have a co-founder, and why did you guys start this? What was sort of the initial concept?
Yeah, so Mike McHugh is my co-founder. We met at a coffee shop. It was like one of those blind date sort of situations.
So you'd never met before?
We'd never met before, and I was working at Apple, and I was teaching a class at Stanford on the side on iPhone app development.
Yeah, apparently you were the very first teacher at Stanford of iPhone app development.
Is that
true?
Yes, I still run into people on the street at the airport who are like, they're showing me this app, this company that they now run, and they're like, oh, I learned iPhone programming from the course. We didn't really know what we were going to do at first. It was one of those situations where you meet someone you like, and you sort of, it's like location matters in real estate. You can always tear down the house and build a new one.
Right.
And with startups, you can always get rid of the product and build another one, but it's a lot harder to change the team. So we liked one another's styles, and we sort of settled on this idea of information overload and trying to almost reinvent the web and the web browser and everything that we think about when someone says the web to you. You probably still think of like a computer with a keyboard, and like you've got this web browser open, and it's very like 1994. It hasn't changed a lot since then. What if all that went away and we forgot everything that we thought that we knew about what the web was, and we took all the things we've learned about social and the importance of design. It's not good enough for it just to be functional. It has to be really beautiful too. You can now use Flipboard on the iPhone and on Android devices, but the iPad was sort of like what crystallized everything for us, and we were like, aha, this is something they can lay back on their couch, and they're not geeking out in front of their computer, and they can just sort of casually flip through content that they enjoy, just like a magazine.
Casually peruse, if you will.
Yes, perusal is what we're all about.
I love it. So what are you guys working on? What are you like the most excited about that you're working on?
Right.
You can share all of your top secret information
here.
I'll
just show you my Google Docs.
Show me your code.
Yeah,
I mean.
Yeah. We just recently added audio, which we think is really cool. So
That is really cool.
So you can browse, you can read articles, you can look at videos, you can look at photos, and you can have a great soundtrack while you're looking at all these things. So you can hook up your SoundCloud account if you have one, or you can just listen to some of our curated picks around music and podcasts and all sorts of cool audio content. So pretty much anything you care about, including audio, you can consume on your Flipboard.
How do you brainstorm? How do you come up with these new ideas?
Yeah. We build hundreds and hundreds of prototypes. I write code.
So you literally build like
design.
a zillion different things, and then you're like, this is working, none of these are working.
Yeah,
or
sometimes.
These are all working.
And sometimes it's the first thing that you built. but you have to build the other 99 versions of it to know that the first one was
Sort of
the
like
right
the
one.
first outfit. I always feel like the first outfit
Yeah,
I try
right, you
on is
end
the
up back
best,
in that
and then you
one.
try on like 10 more,
Right.
and then you're like,
But
I
you gotta-
like the first one.
Totally. You've got to validate it in your mind. You've got, and you can't just see a picture of it, right? You can't just
Right.
look at it on the
A little
on the
different
rack.
than the outfit.
You've got to actually put it on and see, like, okay, like how does it feel?
Now, what is one piece of advice you would give to an aspiring entrepreneur?
Being willing to build a lot of different iterations of the product and not sitting there with kind of writer's block, feeling like you need to put the perfect word down on the page right from the get-go.
Right.
And a lot of writers talk about this process too, and how some writers will say once they really get going, once they're really in a groove, they'll stop writing right then because they want to leave it in a good spot. So the next day when they wake up, they're like, oh yeah, I was in this really good groove. I can just pick right up where I left off. Versus, you stop writing at the end of the chapter, and then the next day, like, oh, I got to start a brand new chapter. Like, you've lost the flow.
Right.
And I think that the same is true for designing products.
Can you teach me how to write code?
Sure, absolutely.
How would you explain writing code
Right. So writing
to,
code,
say, my mom?
the best way I could explain it is
you like a
that
pen?
it's like giving directions to someone. Let's say you wanted to give someone directions to go to the store and buy some milk.
Okay.
And to a normal human, you could just say, go to the store and buy some milk.
Okay.
And what you have to imagine is that, like, you're giving these instructions to, like, a robot who doesn't have any context. Everything that you sort of instinctually know, they don't know. So they're going to ask, what kind of milk? What kind of milk exactly? What brand of milk? What shelf is it on?
It's always a tough decision for me in the milk aisle anyway,
totally.
because it's like, do I get the paper carton? Do I get the, I
right?
don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
do I get in the glass bottle?
Yeah, it's really stressful sometimes.
So you really you have to map it out, and you have to say, okay, like, here's exactly where the store is, and here's how many steps it takes to get to the store, and you turn right here. It's like you're explaining to someone who's both totally brilliant, but also kind of an idiot. And that's how computers are, basically. They can do things so quickly, but they have no sense of context, and they have no implicit understanding of things that you might say.
So it's like a very large instruction manual.
Pretty much. It's like the most
To get the milk.
insanely detailed instruction manual you can imagine.
After all of those instructions, it better be some good milk.
It better be, yeah, exactly.
Well, he is now going to walk me through Flipboard, the man who built it, right here.
Exactly, yeah. So here's Flipboard for your iPad. You can get it for the iPhone and for Android phones as well. And here's some of my favorite sources, and I've added
Love
Jesse
Elon.
Draper, right?
Oh,
So I can basically, if I tap on your tile right here, I can basically see all the things that you've been posting. In this case, it's on Twitter. And so you've been posting links to videos and to articles.
You really made it like a magazine,
Yeah.
just so easy.
Not everyone is a super geeked out Silicon Valley type who is comfortable just like searching for things. And,
Right.
The stuff you care about should just come to you.
Yeah,
It's
so
pretty
these
good.
are some of the ones you love. Obviously, the Jesse Draper.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Elon, who doesn't?
Musk. And again, it's like I can basically just see the world through the eyes of Elon Musk and all the things that he's posting. You feel like you're sort of reading over the shoulder of these people, because whenever they repost a link to some article, you get to read it as well.
Wow. Well, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for walking us through it.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for checking it out.
Great. Well, here we are with Evan from Flipboard, and I thought we should flip some flapjacks.
Let's flip away.
Let's do it. Woo!
Bam, bam,
It goes every. Whoa!
bam. Loose wrist. Just
Okay,
kinda-
loose wrist. Learning to flip the flapjack.
Yeah,
Oh!
nice.
Well, I think it's time to eat.
It's time to eat some flipping flapjacks.
Some flipping flapjacks. This is gonna be delicious.
That is a scrumptious
This
flapjack.
is a scrumptious snack. I'm like the Valley Girl.
And I'm like Evan of Flipboard.
I love Flipboard. Do you flip things just like all the time?
All the time. All sorts of, flipping
Flip
iPads,
things.
flipping tables.
Do you have a lot of conversations about flipping?
On the flip side,
And now it's time for your Dits moment. Wait, I want like height.
I think that was like a triple axle or something.
5-second rule.
Yeah, yeah.